Welcome to today's broadcast. I'm Fortuna McMillian, and we are coming to you live via a breakthrough quantum tether experiment that has allowed us to bridge a century-wide gap. Joining us from the year 2126 is Alfred Alfie Finch, a man who has lived through the very future we are currently racing toward. Today, he joins us to share 10 vital pieces of wisdom on how we can navigate the next 100 years without losing our way and our humanity.
Looking back from 2126, what are we in 2026 getting completely wrong about where AI and technology are taking us?
You worried so much that AI would strip away your humanity, but it actually ended up holding up a mirror to it. You thought technology would automate your relationships and your creativity, forcing you to become more like machines just to keep up. In reality, it did the opposite. It handled the noise so that you could finally remember how to just sit, create, and be human together.
What is one everyday physical object we take completely for granted in 2026 that is incredibly rare or non-existent in your time?
You take the simple scratch of a physical pen on paper entirely for granted. In my time, almost every word is cast into digital air or captured by thoughts, turning ink and paper into rare, tactile treasures. There is a sacred, slow magic in leaving an indelible, physical mark on the world that your generation doesn't realize it's losing.
We are currently obsessed with content and spending hours scrolling on screens. How does your generation view our relationship with the digital world?
We look back at your era of constant scrolling the way you look back at people smoking on aeroplanes in the 20th century. A strange collective addiction you hasn't quite outgrown yet. You treat your attention like an endless resource, letting algorithms feed you fragments of 1,000 different lives while your own slips by unnoticed. In 2126, we realized that true wealth isn't how much digital content you consume, but how deeply you can inhabit the physical room you are currently standing in.
With automation taking over so many traditional jobs, what skills should we actually be teaching our kids right now to prepare them for the next century?
We spent so long teaching children to be efficient processors of information, only to build machines that could do it 1,000,000 times faster. The skills that truly mattered in the end weren't coding or data retrieval, but empathy, deep listening, and the ability to navigate uncertainty with a resilient heart. Teach your children how to think critically, how to adapt gracefully, and how to love deeply. Because the future doesn't need faster machines, it needs more fully realized human beings.
How does humanity finally solve or adapt to the climate crisis? Is there hope, or do we need to prepare for a very different Earth?
We didn't save the old Earth, but we did save each other. Humanity finally accepted that we couldn't just engineer our way out of the crisis. We had to change how we lived within it, shifting from conquerors of nature to quiet partners. There is immense hope, but it belongs to a very different, greener, and more disciplined world. One where we finally learned that true progress is measured by what we leave untouched rather than what we consume.
In 2026, we feel more connected than ever digitally, yet we are facing a loneliness epidemic. How do people build community and deep relationships in 2126?
We finally realized that you cannot build a true sanctuary out of pixels, so we returned to the architecture of the neighborhood. In 2126, our communities are built around shared physical presence, shared labor, and the intentional slow rhythm of looking into someone's eyes without a screen between you. We stopped trying to connect with the whole world at once and focused instead on being deeply, reliably present for the few people right in front of us.
You're an old man who has lived through a century of unprecedented change. What is the single best piece of health or longevity advice that actually stood the test of time?
We spent billions looking for the secret to youth in gene therapies and advanced biotech, only to find it in the oldest truths. The secret that truly kept my generation alive and vibrant was simply moving our bodies in the fresh air every day, eating food pulled straight from the earth, and keeping our hearts anchored in deep, meaningful relationships. A long life isn't of building a laboratory. It is accumulated quietly through peaceful sleep, less noise, and a mind at peace with the passage of time.
If you could go back to your own youth in the early 2000s, what is one major worry or anxiety you would tell yourself to completely let go of?
I would tell my younger self to completely let go of the paralyzing fear of not having life all figured out by a certain age. You spend so much agonizing energy worrying if you are on the right career path or if you are falling behind your peers in a race that doesn't actually exist. Looking back over a century, I promise you that life is not a straight line to be optimized. It is a collection of seasons. And the grand plan you worry so much about matters far less than the kindness you show to yourself along the way.
What was the most difficult transition humanity had to go through between our time and yours, and how did we survive it?
The hardest part wasn't the collapse of our systems, but the breaking of our illusions. We had to survive the painful withdrawal from an economic model that demanded infinite growth on a finite planet. When the old global supply chains finally buckled under their own weight. We didn't survive through grand political alliances or high-tech miracles. We survived because ordinary people stood up, looked at their literal neighbors, and remembered how to share, grow food together, and rebuild society from the ground up.
If you could beam one single sentence directly into the minds of everyone alive in 2026, right now, what would it be?
Slow down, put away the screens, and look at each other. Because the future you are rushing to build is only worth inheriting if you don't lose your humanity along the way.